want to share something profound I learned in my therapy, and I feel like everyone should know about it. My biggest struggle has been that I know what I want, but I didn't do anything to achieve that. And that's what my therapist calls interrupted excitement or interrupted arousal. For example, you meet an interesting person and you really want to get to know them better, or you want to ask them out, whatever. Then you tell yourself, why bother? They're not going to like me. And then you don't reach out. Or you have your dreams, you want to write a book, or you want to start a YouTube channel, but then you start thinking, this is so stupid, or I look so ugly, or my ideas are superficial, and you never start acting. Once you understand that you want something, your psyche starts building up that energy for you to take that necessary action to achieve that. So you feel inspired, you feel really motivated, but then something blocks it and you don't feel like you want to do it anymore. You feel like going to bed or watch TikTok for 8 hours. That's when that excitement gets interrupted. And the reason why it gets interrupted is shame. I was really surprised at first because I used to explain my lack of action with I'm an introvert, or I'm shy, I'm anxious, or my self-critic is really loud. These are the consequences. They're not the core reason, and it's really important to understand what the real reason is. Because you're putting yourself in an introvert box without realizing that it's really limiting yourself and it's not even true. And it leaves you really unsatisfied with your life. The biggest realization was that what I was calling anxiety was actually shame. When I was in a social setting, I was constantly feeling like I wanted to shrink. I was constantly experiencing that inner dance between the desire to say something and that part of me that said like, oh, this is so stupid, it's not funny. That desire to shrink, disappear, hide, freeze, it's all about shame. And it has a connotation of death. If you think about it, if you wish you weren't there, it has a metaphorical meaning of death. Death is the absence of movement. That's why there is a word mortified that has the same root as death, like in the words mortal or immortal. Even in Ukrainian, we have a phrase that we use when we are embarrassed, which can be literally translated as, I want to fall through the ground, which means when I'm embarrassed, I literally want to be 6 feet under. Now you understand why shame is such a terrible state to be in, because even languages show that being ashamed feels like dying. Now you might think, but what if I did something terrible and I'm feeling ashamed of that? But there is a difference between being accountable for doing something wrong, and this feeling is guilt. Guilt says, I did something wrong, and shame says, I am wrong. There's something wrong with me. And because of that, you might have subconscious beliefs like, I don't deserve to be happy. That stops you from taking that necessary action that will actually bring about what you want in this life. I noticed in the last year that was really liberating was that whenever I experienced shame, it was never healthy. It was always toxic, internalized shame from family and society. I don't mean to imply that their behaviors or their beliefs were wrong. After all, they did a pretty amazing job surviving in the USSR through wars and stuff. Because the goal of shame is to control you so you fit in. How dare you dress like that? What will the neighbors say? How dare you speak about that? People will think you're weird. Those aren't really my thoughts, and I can't stop hearing them. But what I can do, I can remind myself they aren't true, because they really aren't true. If you feel like the thoughts you're thinking make you freeze, trust me, they're lying to you. They're not true. And those thoughts aren't even yours. I even started using this feeling of shame as a compass. Wherever my shame and desire intersect, my next step is. So once I let myself disidentify with shame and let myself take those necessary actions that felt really unpleasant, I actually started seeing how my reality changes. Because the feeling of shame doesn't really disappear. You just change the way you react to it. We can't erase our past and be born into a society or a family that supports our creativity and spontaneity, but we can call the things by their name, discern what's ours and what's imposed, and be brave to claim your right to be happy and enjoy your life and take those necessary actions, because everything you've ever wanted in your life are on the other side of shame. If you think it's selfish, think about this. There are people out there who are going to benefit so much from you taking that action you're so ashamed of. Those people will be happy to be your friend, be in a relationship with you, watch your content, read your book, work with you. After all, how is the universe supposed to expand without you going for what you want?